everybody, welcome back to another look into the best-selling games. I'm Tom Vasel.
And I'm Spencer Williams with GameNerdz.
That's right, Spencer is here from GameNerdz to tell us about the best-selling games of August, I think.
August, yes. August was a crazy month because started out with Gen Con, and then we had our fantastic Nerds Day sale, which is going to skew the numbers quite a bit because we sell like hundreds of copies of certain games like Brass Birmingham, sold over 600 copies in like 3 minutes. So I intentionally did not include any of the games that we had on sale for GameNerdz or for Nerds Day, but that still didn't prevent the sale from impacting the top sellers for the month. I don't think so. You'll see what I mean whenever we get into it. But if you're cool with it, I'll go ahead and get started.
Let's get started here.
I will explain. So, for example, for the top 5 expansions selling in August, number 5 was Ark Nova Zoo Map Pack 1. Now, the reason why I think that Nerds Day impacted this is because we had Ark Nova as one of our games for sale. So people bought it, wanted to add stuff into their cart, that kind of thing, to bring it up. So,
well, I think Ark Nova's got a small resurgence right now. Because the new expansion is just around the corner, the Ark Nova Marine Worlds, which I'm guessing will be soon on this list, and which, as a spoiler to everyone watching, is amazing. Really like this expansion.
Oh, you like it? Great.
But I'm jumping ahead.
That's awesome.
What I meant is the map packs are great. I like them.
Okay.
I'm still surprised they haven't had a map pack 2 yet.
Where is Map Pack 2? When is that coming? Maybe after this expansion?
I have no idea. I'll ask him when I see him at Essen.
That's a good plan. All right, so number 4, new to the list, is War of the Ring, the card game Against the Shadow expansion. Now, this is a pre-order, and most pretty new listing there. We did have War of the Ring card game for sale on Nerds Day as well, but I don't think that played as big of a role in this particular instance as the Ark Nova Map Pack did.
I'm curious where this card game will end up. Like, a card game seems like it'll be a shorter thing than a board game. This card game's pretty long, and now it has an expansion. Well, we'll see. I bet it gets more than one. I bet it gets 3 expansions in total.
Yeah, I opened up the board game of War of the Ring, and I was just instantly overwhelmed with everything. And so when I saw there's a card game, I was like, maybe that streamlines everything. What do you think? You've played it, right?
The board game's not so complex. It's a little long, but once you understand how to play it, I would not say it's more there's many war games and stuff that are more complex than it. It's worth playing once.
Okay. All right. Well, add that to the list then, along with Ark Nova. And speaking of, here we are back again talking about Ark Nova. Number 3, the Marine Worlds expansion pre-order. So as you predicted, still very popular.
I think that when it comes out, it will hit number 1 on the expansion list at least 1 month. I'm making that prediction now. It's an expansion that is more of the same, and people like more of the same expansions.
Right. I think that that's a good bet. I think there's still one thing that it has going against it, and that's whatever number 1 ends up being, because just from this, well, I'll talk about it when we get there. But we go on to number 2, and this was on last month's list as well. I think it was new last month, and that is the Cascadia Landmarks expansion.
Oh wow, that's really moved up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no surprise, Cascadia sold hundreds of thousands of copies, I'm assuming. So the expansion should do well.
I think the word's getting out, because I didn't even know there was an expansion coming until I saw the promotion for it at Gen Con, one of their posters or something like that. So now people are starting to see it, and as you said, it's a popular game. People want more of it. So it'll probably be on here for a couple of months as well. And then that brings us to number 1 that has been up here for several months in a row. That's probably not a surprise, is the Lost Ruins of Arn, the Missing Expedition. That is the one I was talking about, where that's going to constantly be battling, I think, the Ark Nova one, because you look at before the new expansion was on the list for Ark Nova or for Ruins of Arn, the previous one has consistently been up there, and that's a year or 2 after its initial release. So
that's
they're going to be battling there.
That's true. So, I didn't see Lost Ruins get played a ton at the retreat we were just at, but I don't know. It depends if they announce another Dune expansion or not. Although right now they're remaking Dune Imperium, like a new version of it. So that's going to take up their time. We'll see where that ends up.
All right, well, those are our top 5 expansions for August, and we'll move into the top 10 board games. Some surprises here, I think you'll find. Beginning with number 10, and that is Scout, the little Oink card game.
Not as much of a surprise. Scout was a very, very popular card game, and people were very much looking forward to getting their hands on the Oink version of it. It wasn't originally from Oink.
That's true.
But people love Oink a lot, so that...
Yeah, and I think we got a restock of it, so it became available, and so people waiting for that restock alert got it, and so... Yeah, I have it and I love it. I think it's great. Love the colors, the color scheme. The purple and orange is great. Moving on to number 9 is Gloomhaven, the original.
Wait, Gloomhaven 1, the original, the first.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Why?
That was.
This one's
I know
weird.
it was not a Nerd's Day sale. The only thing I could think of is any kind of like renewed interest in it because of Frosthaven, anything like that. But yeah, it's the number 9.
Maybe people demoed it at Gen Con and then went online and bought it.
Well, also I'm seeing. I was on the Xbox Game Pass yesterday, and they are advertising Gloomhaven coming to Xbox. So the digital version.
Okay.
So maybe that's renewing interest as well. Okay. All right. Number 8 is another. I think another result of a Nerd's Day sale. And that is Star Wars Outer Rim. We had the expansion on the Nerd's Day sale, so I assume that people saw, I can get this expansion for a great deal. I might as well get the base game as well.
This is a consistent one that does well. People like the whole idea of pick up and deliver in the Star Wars game. Although this is still on my shelf of, come on, Tom, you got to play this game at some point. I still haven't done it.
Yeah, my shelf is enough of that type of shelf for me is enough to fill a 3-story building, and this is one of those. So I like that idea. I do like the idea of a pick up and deliver game in the Star Wars universe. So it should be fun, but I'll get to it one day maybe. Moving on to number 7. Let's see, was this on the list last month? I think it was. No, it was not. So I think we have seen it previously though. And number 7 is a pre-order. And that is Forbidden Jungle.
Okay, yeah, Forbidden Jungle. The 4th is in that series. So the third one everyone's forgotten about, Forbidden Skies. But Forbidden Desert and Forbidden Island were bestsellers for years. I remember one time a store told me that Forbidden Island was one of the best sellers they had in a long time.
I think I'm in the minority of people because I liked Forbidden Sky. I loved the novelty of the rocket ship and making the circuits and all that. Everybody said, oh, it's too hard. I liked it. Now, I don't own it anymore, so I don't know what that tells you.
You're not selling your point of view, but yes.
No one would play it with me is the thing, but I loved it. So I'm interested to see, from what I understand, this 4th one kind of combines elements from all 3.
I would argue against that. It combines elements from the first 2. I don't think it's much like Forbidden Skies at all. It's definitely a throwback.
Connecting paths or anything?
Well, no, you're moving stuff around. It has nothing to do with connecting paths. You're just trying to move tiles.
Okay.
It feels like it's half island, half desert.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm excited about that one. I definitely love desert and island for sure. And sky, but no one wants to talk about that, so I'll just move on. Number 6 is getting ready for Halloween time. Is Boop. Pre-order for that. I just played this the other day. It's a lot of fun. I'd never played the first version of Boop, but this little Halloween re-theme with the pumpkin cats and the witch cats, and then you've got the ghosts that move along the bed. It's a nice little touch because you can play with either the ghosts, or without them. And I love it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there. I haven't played the new version of Boop, but I like the original. So I know this just adds an optional thing you can add to it. So good.
Yeah. Number 5 was considered a pre-order last month. It is now out. So I want to see if you have any. I know you guys.
Was it pre-order last month? Well, then it's got to be the 3-ring Circus.
That's correct. Number 5 is 3-ring Circus.
I'll tell you what, DeVere has their finger on the pulse right now Because not only is this one out, but one of the hottest games on Board Game Geek is the next one that they have, White Castle, which will probably be on your list in a few months. So we'll see. But
I think
yeah,
so
this
too.
one was very popular at the retreat. A lot of people were playing it.
Yeah. It's very cool aesthetic, really neat theme. White Castle, I loved Red Cathedral, so I'm really excited to see. I know it's not like, a redo, but in that series, I'm excited to see what they've done with that. I just try explaining to people that it's not about cheeseburgers.
Yeah, no kidding. No sliders here.
Right. Okay, number 4, it was a little bit of a surprise to me, and it's been a couple, let's see. No. It hasn't been. Hasn't been that long since we've seen this one. I would say that number 4 was pretty high up last month on our list.
Is it still Thunder Road Vendetta?
No, but you're not far off.
So Thunder Road Normal.
You've got the publisher is what these two have in common.
Oh, another unmatched. So the unmatched.
Yep.
So this is still going to be Brains and Brawn because the new game is coming out in a couple months. I mean, their new cooperative version of it, and I think that one's going to do
Tales
well.
to Amaze. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we had, so for Nerds Day, we had the Houdini versus Genie as well as the Teen Spirit Unmatched. So that might have generated interest for completionists, maybe. I don't know, but
doesn't matter. It's still Spider-Man, man. Everyone likes Spider-Man.
It's still doing very well. So it probably will be on here next month, too. Number 3 is another holdover from last month, and it's climbed the list. It is also a pre-order. Does that give you any clues?
What'd you say?
Almost. You're almost there. You could just. You're almost there. Before we get there, we're going to talk about a much smaller game, and that is Sea Salt and Paper. Yes, but you're very close. Sea Salt and Paper is a great little game. I really enjoyed it.
Well, I was trying to make a generalized guess here, so go figure.
Oh, no problem. All right, so we can go on. Sea Salt and Paper, great one, and that should be out. Really any time now at this point. Maybe already have been shipped before this video.
I thought I saw it at Gen Con, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but now, Tom, you can pull out your giant box over there for number 2, Ticket to Ride Legacy Legends of the West.
Look for our review on that in a week or so, our spoiler-free review. This is going to be a big game. Considering it's been on the pre-order list, this is the 3rd month in a row, I think. Mm-hmm. And it's not even out yet, so people don't know if it's good or not. But the Ticket to Ride brand is so strong.
Yeah. So can you give us even somewhat of a hint? You said people don't know if it's good or not.
I believe I'm not allowed to spoil my review, so I shan't. We're playing through the whole thing, so we didn't give up halfway through, so you can read into that what you will. But
yeah, that's an indicator for sure. Okay. I'll be watching for it, because I'm very curious about it. And finally, what might be the biggest surprise on this list was on the list last month. It was brand new. And I'll just say this, for Nerds Day, we had Great Western Trail Argentina as an item. This one is not an item. Was not an item. And that is Great Western Trail New Zealand.
So that moved to number 1. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
people keep asking me about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, last time we recorded, you hadn't played it yet.
No, I mean, I don't even know if I have a lot of desire, because I liked Great Western Trail. I liked it fine. People keep telling me this is the best in the series, though, so maybe I'll have to give this one a whirl.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. I played it one time, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I never played it again. But, New Zealand seems cool, so who knows? Well, those are the top 10 best-selling board games from GameNerdz for the month of August.
Well, there you go, folks. You can check those out. You can get these games at GameNerdz.com. And like he said, they're always having deals of the day and all kinds of stuff coming up. So appreciate you giving us these numbers, and I'm very curious next time when we look at the September and the October bumps as we see how Gen Con affects things, and then of course Essen. It's a never-ending story.
Exactly. And then how, like, leading into the holidays, how that impacts. You know, you might see some things that aren't necessarily the hotness, but what are great gifts? Who knows? So it'll be an interesting next few months for sure.
Well, there you go, folks. Thanks for watching the best-selling games of August 2023. I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Spencer Williams.
We'll see you next time.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da.